Yeah, because sometimes this will be an issue. Decides.
We're live, Johnny.
Welcome to another exciting edition of the Sip with Supernatural, Episode 5, Godbey Paranormal, with your host, Leon Lexington,
Yes, sir.
Superfly Johnny Lee, and when it gets here, Kenny.
The Black Cat Mulligan.
That's right.
It's been a long time, Johnny.
Yes, it has.
It's been like at least 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, we stopped at 4, and we
just got busy. We got way too busy. The winter came up. I think Kenny may have been possessed. You know, it happens.
Yeah, it happens. He probably did get possessed, and for a while there, he was out inside the woods, probably talking with whatever deity it was possessing him.
Well, this is episode 5 of the Sip with the Supernatural.
Yep,
this is my excuse to day drink and talk about ghosts. So let's get into it. I want to introduce our guests, the Godbey Paranormal. Y'all are investigators, correct?
Yes.
Let me just get y'all's origin story. I want to hear about y'all. Just let me know how y'all met, how y'all y'all's infatuation with the paranormal, like y'all's first couple setups to what led you down this road. I just want y'all's origin story.
Okay. We actually met on Tinder. So we met online.
That's the biggest ghost story so
yeah.
far.
So we got together, and then we had always kind of talked about the paranormal and stuff. He had been investigating even before he met me. And then we actually had a team come to our house. We were having activity at our house. And they came, and we ended up becoming really good friends with them. We ended up joining their team. Went on a couple investigations with them.
And is this documented? Because I tried to find video footage, but I couldn't. I don't know if y'all have like a YouTube page or anything.
We don't. I was telling him before we got started, we were on their YouTube. They're the Elizabethtown Paranormal Society. We haven't got one yet. We just haven't got around to
Right.
it. But yeah, so we were with them for a while, and then last year we finally kind of stepped out on our own and started doing our own thing. So
y'all just y'all will get like messages from people and y'all come investigate?
Yeah.
So what was like kind of what brought y'all into this? Like what was it like? Was it as a kid, or have y'all always been infatuated with it? Like what brought you into y'all wanted to discover the paranormal?
So I've always had experiences like since I was little. As I got older, I just got more into it. I know he also had a lot of experiences growing up, the house he grew up in. And then it just really kind of took off from there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting topic. We love the supernatural. We love all things horror on this podcast.
Yes, we do.
So what's the scariest, most craziest thing y'all have had happen so far? Any possessions?
No possessions.
Usually our guests that we've had before, usually like one or two of them they've been possessed at some point. Has that ever happened to either one of y'all?
No, we haven't experienced that. Craziest thing for me, we went to Brushy Mountain State Pen down in Petros, Tennessee. We were doing an Estes method. And
what is
good
that?
method?
So that's where you wear a blindfold.
Oh, yeah,
and
I know.
you've got the noise-canceling headphones, and you have the spirit box.
Mm-hmm.
But we went with the Elizabethtown Paranormal Society, and our one teammate was doing the Estes method, and it was like, kill Kristen.
Oh, that's crazy.
I ended up in tears, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done tonight. I tapped out, and I went and sat outside.
That does tend to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd freak me out. So do y'all ever, I know that you get messages from people to come investigate. Do y'all ever just venture off and be like, hey, let's just go pick out this random abandoned building and just go out there?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, she's generally the one that finds the locations and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just the guy that kind of packs everything along and shows up and
right. So
gets stuff done. But
what equipment do y'all work with?
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Woo. Best kind of investigation.
Yeah, me and my girl, all we have is a spirit box. I think she's trying to get more equipment at some point. We don't do investigations. We usually just like a couple months back, we went out to, is it Ashland? Is that Henry Clay's estate? Is that what it's called? I think it's just called the Henry Clay Estate.
Yeah.
But out there by Henry Clay High School, the Henry Clay Estate, we went out there a couple months ago and went out to Seeing Eye Bridge down in Paris. Mm-hmm. And we got a couple of things, but nothing really too particular. Yeah. But it's definitely fun to just even try. The most times that I have anything happen is in my own house. Like I'll hear, we'll use the spirit box and it'll just say my name over and over. And that house has been in my family since like the 50s. Mm-hmm. So, but all that we ever get is just Leon, just over and over again. Just, it's the creepiest shit. And like nothing ever happens in that house. I've had a few things happen where I couldn't really pinpoint if it was like somebody else in the house did something or if it was whatever. But I've never really had anything paranormal at that house. So it's weird that like as soon as we turn on that box, it just all the activity starts flushing through.
Yeah.
It knows that you're there, Leon.
It does know that I'm there. Damn.
But also, that's just something that happens whenever you got equipment. You can either capture a ghost or you're going to capture a voice. Mm-hmm. It don't matter where you are. If there is something there, you are definitely going to be picking it up.
Yeah. And one piece of advice that I've definitely gotten a lot since we ventured out on our own is you are your own best piece of equipment. Using your own senses and really paying attention to what's going on. Because that's the thing, sometimes when you're using this equipment, you get distracted from what's really going on because it's that instant gratification of seeing, oh, hey, this is lighting up or you're getting a response. So
and then you miss what's actually there because you're focused on the equipment.
Exactly.
That's why I tend to notice with most other investigators that they focus on equipment instead of actually trying to figure out why the thing gets lit up, why they're getting this activity. If you can just stop, paying your set, you can probably notice that there's an apparition that you may be missing or an orb that just passed by your face.
And I definitely think that these spirits, these conjurings, whatever they are, they're definitely self-aware. Like, I feel like they know, like, when an energy is picked up that's like a frequency or something, some sort of equipment. Like, it's always like on these TV shows, they'll be like, oh, 5 minutes ago, we just heard this loud bang, and now we're in this room. Nothing's happening. So I definitely feel like more things tend to happen when you're not looking for it. I don't know what the case is with that, but it always seems like that. It's always whenever you're not looking for something that something happens.
That's right. Because they know that you're paying attention. They know that you can see them. They know that you're listening for them. They're not going to give you activity just because you look for them. They're going to make sure that they're going to spook the hell out of you because sometimes it feels like that's what they like to do is be mischievous. They like to play pranks on you, maybe move a chair a little bit, maybe move a door, something to catch your attention, but not enough to make you go where they are because they're not going to stay in that place.
Now, we've asked our other guests this, but what's y'all's theories on what the paranormal is? Like, do you think it's like a fracture in time? Do you think it's a stamp on a ground? Like, what do you think? Do you think it's just lost souls? Like, is it more? Do y'all think it's more of like Matrix, like time and space kind of cohering on itself? Or I don't even think that's a word, but we're gonna go with it. Or do y'all think it's more just like a spiritual thing?
So for me, I have so many different theories, and I have realized, like, since we've started doing this, I have more questions than I have answers. Like,
right.
I have more questions now than even when we started. But I go back and forth a lot with, is it just like a time slip?
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it could be a bunch of these different things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it has to be one set in stone kind of deal, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So for me, I tend to view it more as a religious aspect.
Yeah.
Because they say at the end of days, all people on the planet shall be brought back to life, judged, and decided where to go at that point. I feel that most of the spirits that we see wandering around and all that are mainly just the spirits waiting for Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Like if you've been saved or damned and you have somewhere to go already, they're not going to make you sit around and wait for that kind of stuff.
I've never thought about it from that point of view.
But that's the way I've always viewed it.
Now, are you a religious person?
I am. I do tend to lean more religiously than not. I just don't go to church.
You just don't practice it, yeah. It seems like that's the place where most judgment happens, and it shouldn't be like that. I think we talk about this every time we do this podcast. We talk about religion,
That's true.
the state of religion. But yeah, I think for me, it's a bunch of different things. I think like even when people are like, "Oh, you just tear down the house and all this stuff will go away," or if you get like somebody to come in and say, it's like I don't really believe in that. I think it's tethered to the time and the space and the soil, and there's like a bunch of different factors that make the things go bump in the night.
But it's interesting that is your theory, because we've never heard anyone explain it like that. And to hear you actually explain it like that kind of puts in a new perspective. Because what if it's true? I mean, we see spirits as ghosts, but what if it is people that have died but have been sent here because they've already been damned? What if that's a possibility?
And it always seems like whenever like on these shows or when people investigate, like these spirits are always looking for something, and they're always trying to tether themselves to the living. So that is definitely a different point of view than I've heard before. Yeah. I've never really put religion with the spirits and not.
Yeah. So, now that we know your origins and we know that, tell us what it was like getting married at Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Yeah, and how did y'all go about this? So y'all said, or before we started, y'all said that y'all are the only wedding to ever take place there.
So basically what had happened was we had already been married 5 years prior.
Right.
But it was just a simple little courthouse thing and all that. But we had always wanted to actually do a wedding. And so, what year was that? 2024. It was literally the brand new year. It was like January 1st. And we were trying to figure out when we wanted to renew our vows and stuff like that. And so, I just kind of threw out the idea. I was like, why not Waverly Hills? And she was like, oh, I don't know if they even let us. I was like, it couldn't hurt to ask. And so then she reached out to Tina and what was it?
Is that somebody that y'all know that works there?
Tina Mattingly is the owner.
Oh, that's my God.
Oh, nice.
How did y'all have that relationship?
So, it had started like I just sent a Facebook message, and she's the one that reached out and then called me. Because they were like, usually we don't do that.
Has anybody ever asked? Did they say?
Oh, yeah. Apparently people ask, because now on their Facebook, like, and they had it before, but it's like no weddings, receptions, like, because they're still actively renovating this building.
Yep.
Right.
But yeah, she reached out and we talked about it, and she was like, yeah. She was like, I'll let you guys do it from this time on this day, and so.
Now, was it inside the buildings or was it just on the ground?
No, it was inside the building.
Now, did anything happen the day of?
No, nothing happened the day of. I was really hoping it would.
Yeah. A light fixture fall down or something. Falling the best man.
Yeah. Well, and like we had gone up there a couple of times before to make our payments on it and stuff, and like. Tina,
what was the price on it?
$1,500.
But that's not bad at all.
No, and we got it from 12 to 3.
Yeah. We had an hour setup time and then 2 hours to kind of do whatever we wanted to do. But that's some of the photos are in that. It's a whole album on my phone if you want to take a look at them.
Black Cat Kenny is in the house.
We got our man Kenny here.
They got married at Waverly Hills.
Nice.
Here's some of the photos.
That's amazing, though, because y'all got to be married there. The only wedding to ever take place at Waverly Hills.
So far, is it the only wedding?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, y'all got lucky.
Yeah, because we talked to Tina, and she was like, people ask and stuff, and because we've investigated there plenty of times. And she was like, this building calls to who she wants. She was like, there's something different about you. And she was nice enough to let us have it there, and it was great. They helped us set up. They let us use the chairs and stuff. She had a little boombox for us so I could play the music. I actually got ready in one of the patient rooms.
I bet that would have been spooky.
It was one of the terminal patient rooms, and we got married in it used to be like a activities room when it was an active hospital. So
Nice.
So you said that, how many times have y'all investigated there?
countless times. Like, how many times did you say? Probably well over 10 times.
Yeah, we're probably closing in somewhere to around 25.
I've never been. We drove to the gate one night because when I was in high school, my friends would always be like, "Oh yeah, we're skipping school. We're gonna drive down to Waverly," and like, so I always thought that it was gonna be on like some old country road, and you could just like kind of like drive up to it. But then we hit the gate, and my girlfriend tried to call the number that's on the gate, and she hung up real fast because she got spooked, and they texted her and was like, "We're watching you. Leave."
Yeah.
And we got spooked and left. But for some reason, I always thought that it was like you kind of just drove up to the premises and you could just like wander around. But I guess it's not like that.
So, yeah, they have to put up a lot of fences, and they have 24/7 security because people still try to break in. Like,
Yeah.
even now, and they do tours. They do all this stuff. But apparently it's like an ongoing joke for people in Louisville. They were like, well, I got a free tour of Waverly Hills.
Right.
And people try to sneak in still. So,
Yeah, you've been once before, haven't you, Kenny?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been out there besides the one time that we drove. Somebody commented. I think,
Yeah, someone did. I was about to bring that up. Dave Linville said, sometimes I'll be working on a motor like a lawnmower trying to figure out what's wrong, and all of a sudden it just comes to me out of nowhere. What the problem was. I know it was my father showing me or guiding me to figure out what to do.
yeah, I'd hate that. My father coming telling me to hold the flashlight from down the grave.
Yeah. I mean, he would try to teach you how to do it again.
Would be arguing with myself, just screaming at the air. Trying
Everyone
to fix
else-
a tire.
And everyone else would be watching you while you're arguing with yourself, and you're just like, shut the hell up, I'm trying to talk to my dad.
It really felt like I was
But-
in the middle of nowhere out there.
Where?
Going up to Waverly, it feels like you're in the middle of absolutely nowhere. There was no cell service for like at least 2 hours just going through the counties to get there. And then one of the counties we stopped in, I have no idea where we were. Google Maps wouldn't even attempt to come up and show me where we were. But we rolled into the middle of town, and they were having like a festival, music and food and stands. Still to this day, I have no idea where that place was.
See, when I went, I was kind of like, I wasn't disappointed, but I was kind of like, this is like right beside apartment buildings. I would hate to
Yeah.
have lived in those apartment buildings
Yeah.
that are right there beside Waverly.
yeah.
Well, I mean, Waverly back in its heyday was its own self-sufficient little place.
Really?
They had their own, what was it, mail service.
They had their own mail service. They did their own food there. They had their own zip code. If you went to Waverly, you lived at Waverly.
So it was kind of like a town. See, I never knew that. I just thought that it was just like a hospital, like a.
Same.
What, was it for? It was for tuberculosis, correct? Am I tripping?
It
Yep,
was-
tuberculosis.
Before that, there were some other things that was used before it was a hospital. I think they said it was used for. It was like it was originally like an apartment complex for people to live in, and then it was transformed into the tuberculosis
Yeah.
hospital. I don't remember all of the backstory, so I might be wrong on that part.
Well, the building that's up there is not the original building.
Right.
It had, I think that's what, building 3?
That was building 2, I believe.
Second building? But it was built bigger to accommodate the influx of the white plague and all that, and to try and get as many people. And even then, it still became overcrowded.
Yeah, it's probably a nicer place to live than Louisville itself, but let's not get into that.
Not wrong.
I mean, there was many deaths there, too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, was it 1 an hour at its peak?
Yeah.
1 an hour. God. I hate to even look at pictures of it. That's just me. I get the creepy crawlies. I mean, like whenever we go, like when we went to investigate some places, I'm not a very a wimp or anything like that. But like just like when you see pictures, like even just looking at this whatever cavern this is, like it looks creepy as hell.
It says before it became the famous tuberculosis sanatorium in 1910 and the larger building in 1926. The property in Louisville, Kentucky was a schoolhouse.
Yep.
Well, there it goes. So are y'all into cryptids also? Do y'all be hunting the cryptids?
I am. He's not.
You're in so is it more like you kind of disprove these things, or are you just not into it? Just not your
So,
thing?
The way I've always told people, it's like, as cool as I would love to have cryptids be a thing, there's just not enough evidence for me to really go with it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like, there's just not enough for me to be like, oh,
Mothman.
yeah, Mothman.
Or Jersey Devil.
But, we're still discovering new species of animals, even to today, that, have never been seen before. So
Right.
it's just, until I'm able to get some more concrete stuff, it's just not really something I partake in.
I get that.
See, I'm more of like what you were saying earlier with religion akin to the spirits. I'm more of that with like cryptids, like when it comes to like Native American religions or like the stuff over in Germany, and Europe has a lot more of that than American does, at least besides like native culture and stuff. But like when it comes to cryptids, I'm more of akin to like that kind of. The Mothman seems cool in principle, but like I feel the same way kind of you do.
Right.
But when it comes to that, I'm more of akin to like the witches of Germany and Appalachian spirits and stuff like that, and
Or the Salem witches.
the Salem witches. I think all of that was. They say that a lot of the Salem witch stuff was because they were eating like moldy bread. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were all just tripping balls just out in the middle.
Exactly.
My mom said that she went to Salem and it was very disappointing. Because it's like it's very commercialized, and I guess it's not really like in like the best area. Like Salem is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like the hood, I guess, from what I've heard.
It does look like the hood.
Well, didn't most of the witch trials happen to town over?
No, they happened in Salem.
Oh, okay.
When I hear Salem's Lot, I just think an empty, abandoned lot in the middle of
Yeah. Because that's basically a Stephen King book right there.
I love Salem's Lot, the movies, the books. And what about vampires? Y'all into vampires? Y'all believe in stuff like that? No.
I'm not. I know that there's some strange people out there.
Yeah.
But and like the actual mythical creature of a vampire says. I'm also one of these people that believe that every myth or legend has a start. Like it's just not something people create. Because if you go to like Romania or Transylvania, or any Slavic town over there, you look at their old graves. There's like bricks in their mouths and iron grates over the graves and stuff like that, mainly to ward away grave robbers and stuff. But the bricks and stuff because they thought they'd just come back.
Yeah.
And I think the last recorded incident was in London.
Yeah.
There was a big vampire trial in the 80s.
The Highgate Cemetery.
Yeah, that's it.
The Highgate Vampire.
And they were like a pastor and somebody else was trying to get into the cemetery to disprove that there was a vampire in the cemetery.
So you seem to be a lot like skeptical on a lot of different things. What makes ghosts and stuff like that your kind of forte? Like, why is that the one where you're like, okay, like out of everything that I can feel like I can discredit or disprove, why are these things the ones where you're like, okay, I believe in this and I investigate this?
So part of it comes down to the fact of just my religious background, in a sense. Like a lot of it, I like to try and, I believe that there is an afterlife. I believe it. I, try my best to make sure I'm going to go there. But at the same time, I've had my own fair experiences growing up and stuff like that. And I had one back when I first got home from Africa.
When'd you go to Africa? Sorry to
No, you're fine.
Sorry to go on a different, but you saying interesting things. Did you go on like a missionary or something?
No, I was deployed.
Yeah. Thank you for us. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I was deployed to Djibouti, Africa, and I came back in the summer of 2012. No, 2013. Sorry, I got deployed in 2012, came back in 2013. But when I came back, I was staying at my parents' house. I didn't have anywhere to go just yet. So
Right.
I was staying down in the living room on an air mattress at the time.
Yeah.
And they told me to just kind of keep the wood stove going throughout the night. Because it was still chilly at night.
Now, where is this house at?
Crab Orchard, Kentucky.
So it's out in the sticks.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I was raised in Crab Orchard up until I moved out to live with her out in E-Town, and then we moved down to where we're at now. But the house we were staying in, it said that the guy that owned it, his brother had hung himself up in the attic or whatever, and so I was asleep down on the bed. And I was like, okay, I'm going to stoke the fire a little before I lay down and all that. And if you go out of the living room, right there is the kitchen, but there's also a stairwell that goes up into the attic area.
Yeah.
And on the wall right there is a calendar that we had hanging up with a pin with a string attached to it so I could hang there. Well, I just heard it moving, and nobody had walked through there. I was like, okay, time for bed. I'm going to bed now.
Right.
So I lay down, made sure the fire was good. I lay down on my side, and when I looked back towards the kitchen again, I could have swore I had seen like some kind of like shadowy, just something there. Like I couldn't really tell if it was opaque or solid or what, but I was like, cool, I'm not messing with this. Generally how I approach.
Time for bed.
Yeah. Generally how I approach it. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to bed. So I lay down, and I could feel what felt like somebody walking up my side with their hands until it got to my shoulder. And I just felt myself press into the air mattress. And in my ear, it started off as a voice of like a little child, but it got deeper as the sentence went along.
Right.
And it's like, don't worry, I will get you soon.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as all that happened, the pressure just let up off my shoulder again. And to say that I wasn't petrified was an understatement. I just laid there for I don't know how long until I finally just passed out and went to sleep. And, my mom and my dad and all them never believed it, so I never really persuaded it. But then when I told her about it a couple years ago, she was like probably one of the first people to believe it. And so, yeah,
That's some creepy shit right there.
Yeah, I have a similar story. I'm at my mom's house, which is right down the street. My bed was on the floor. I didn't have a bed frame, so I just slept on the floor. And my dad, the laundry room was down in the basement, and that's where my room was. So at night, sometimes he'd come and do the laundry, and I just hear the door like creak kind of open, and then like the steps are real like if you walk on them, you'll know this. You could try your hardest not to be the quietest you could ever be, and you're still going to be heard. So I heard the door kind of creak. I heard walking down the thing, and I'm just laying there trying to go to sleep, and I just feel somebody just come like walk over onto the bed and just stand above me. And I'm just, like you said, you were laying on your side. I'm just laying on my side, and I'm like, yeah, nobody's doing the laundry. If I look up, there's going to be something there. So I was just like, nothing's happening, and ended up going to sleep. So, but yeah. So
you were like, I'm not going to be watching this some bitch.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep.
I don't think that house is haunted per se, but I mean, it kind of is. It has a lot of activity. That's probably the most activity I've ever had was at my mom and dad's house. Right. But so that was the first time that anything had ever happened to you per se, or did you have stuff beforehand?
So I've had other stuff happen in the same town, Crab Orchard. We lived in an old house on Main Street that used to be an old dentist/doctor's office.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would give me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll be hearing some mysterious drill sounds that shouldn't be there.
Well, like it became renovated in like the 50s for like livability and stuff like that. But the first time I ever had a paranormal encounter was at that house. And I was on my way to the bathroom, and it's not quite a shotgun house, but the way the house was laid out was you walk through the front door, our bedroom is right there next to the front door, then you had the living room, and then the living room went into the dining room went into the kitchen, and if you turned, the kitchen led into the bathroom.
And the den.
So I went through there, and we had just been putting up Christmas stuff. Okay, so we had some stuff still out from that. But, I mean, there was enough light for the most part to kind of see where I was in the room, but not what was in my way. So I walked through there just fine. Nothing happened, went to the bathroom, used it, And on my way back out, I got into the dining room and I tripped over a step stool. It's like the big, taller ones with like the 2 steps and all that. And my parents' room is right there off of the dining room. And my mom hollered out there because I kicked a metal step stool and it was pretty, damn loud.
What's all that racket?
Yeah, she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I was like, "You left the step stool out." And she's like, "I didn't leave no step stool out." And I was like, "It's right here. I just tripped on it." She goes, "Wasn't me." I was like, "Okay." Closed it up, sat off by the table, and went back to bed.
What's up, J-Mac?
But yeah, it was just that was probably the first time I've ever had something like that happen. But the air mattress event was the one that really made me want to start pursuing it to see if I could find an answer to what happened.
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever had anything like that happen again. Just mainly because now that I'm with my wife here, she's generally the lighthouse for all that. So. And
it's more like what we was talking about earlier. Like when you're not looking for stuff, it seems like that's when stuff happens. When you are more akin to what's going on around you, it's like it kind of I don't know if it dwindles. You see it more in different ways. Like, you know what I mean? Like you'll see it more in like, oh, I put my keys right here. Why are they right here? And less of like the really spooky, traumatic shit that happens.
As I said, they're being menaced and pulled that step stool out on purpose to mess with you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Still to this day, I have no idea what happened with that. But.
Somebody just playing a prank on you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because that's what it seems like. It seems like anytime that something happens and you can't explain, it's because they're playing pranks on you. Yeah. You might have your keys get moved somewhere and you pretty sure where you left them, but now they're somewhere where you did not leave them.
Right.
So you're thinking, oh, could have been my wife, could have been my brother, could have been my sister.
Now,
but it wasn't.
While you were on deployment over in Africa, did you ever have anything like that happen, or any maybe like tall tale, cryptid tales of like locals saying anything like to akin to that?
Not really. It was mainly a quite lived-in base. Like there was always something going on.
Mm.
So generally, if you did hear anything,
it was something going on.
Yeah, it was just somebody either moving something. Because I stayed in a CLU, container living unit. Is what it stands for. But I stayed in a CLU with 2 other guys, and for reference, that's like from here to that outdoor right there.
Right.
We had 3 people all staying in this little area. But most of the time, if you heard, felt, anything, it's generally because there was stuff going on.
Exactly.
Like we did have a local bazaar from the area, the town outside. They came on post and like they were selling all sorts of like mystical stuff and all that. But I knew enough at the time not to be messing with that mojo. So.
Yeah. I don't really like to mess with that. When me and my girlfriend went to New Orleans last year around this time, and like my mom is a so-and-so witch lady.
Yeah.
She's just a crazy person. She does have powers, but not like she thinks she does. And if she does, then she probably done put a hex on me or something for saying
True.
that. But yeah, I know better than to bring shit home, buy shit from somebody. Like I don't mess with that. I want to keep myself kind of tamed off from the whole like, buy this rock that.
They were having a hard time hearing him a little bit. Because that
Kenneth, would you like a drink?
Sure.
All right.
Is that better?
It should be up to whenever you talk, just make sure to have this one up so that you speak to that right there.
Like that, a little bit.
Yeah.
Better? Okay.
But our guy J-Mac here, he said, tell them to go to Harrisburg and investigate the lady who danced herself to death.
Harrisburg, Kentucky?
Yep. Harrisburg, Kentucky. That's one of the things that he wants to see y'all do is investigate the lady who danced herself to death.
Can't say I've ever heard of that, have you?
That's my first time actually hearing about it. But I have heard some rumors and tidings here and there about a woman who danced herself to death and never stopped dancing. Mm-hmm. Almost like a spell had been placed onto her to keep on dancing. Okay. This is just things that you hear about here and there. Sometimes you'll hear stories that you've never heard before, catch you completely off guard. And if you go to investigate them, you find out there could be some truth to them,
Right.
just not inside the way that other people might know.
Now, what about UFOs? Y'all into UFOs?
She is.
Yeah.
I'll let her take it over from here.
I'm into all that stuff.
Have you ever seen a UFO, or what you thought was a UFO?
So, I think I have. I was little, well, younger. I was probably like 9 or 10. And this still, I can remember everything. We were outside. It was dark. We were going to be playing flashlight tag. But I remember seeing this, like, bright light, like, coming straight at me. Like, not a flashlight. Like, this was coming down to the point that I, like, dove to the ground because I was like, this thing is going to hit me. And I've never, like, nothing, I didn't see anything after that, and I've never been able to explain it.
I actually saw a UFO back in 2019. It was from my house. Me and my cousin's boyfriend were on the porch. It was late at night. We were the only ones outside that time. He looks up. He says there's something in the distance hovering there, and it can't be a plane or a helicopter 'cause it looks nothing like them. I go and I turn around and I look around, and right there inside distance, clear as day, is a UFO in front of my eyes. To this day, I'm like, yep, they've been keeping aliens secret from us this whole time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, what was your first experience with the paranormal, if you can remember?
I mean, I've always had experiences, but I think what really set it up for me was after my grandfather died, and that was in 2016. I say dreaming, but I was very aware of what was going on. Like, I've never been able to explain. It's like I was asleep, but I was awake. I was conscious. I knew what was happening. And he would come to me, and he would talk to me and stuff, and I had those experiences for a while, and then we moved into our house in 2019, and that was the last time I ever dreamed about him, and it was him going, "You're okay, it's time for me to go." And what was so weird about that is because I woke up and I was just a mess. It was like starting the grieving process all over again. Well, then his mom texts me. Now, mind you, she never met my grandfather. Never met him. She texts me and she goes, "Hey, I saw your papaw. He was out here talking to me." And she described exactly what he was wearing in my dream.
That's crazy.
And so that was really what set it up for me. So,
Yeah, dream space is definitely a topic that I don't think that we've really got into on here, but dreams are just, like, I think that, at least to me, like, it has to be, like, some sort of other dimension, other reality going on.
well, and even, so after I was dreaming about him, the place that I worked at, I worked with this lady, and her mom had passed away.
Yeah.
And it was maybe a couple months after her mom had died. And it was another instance of, I was asleep, but I was very conscious of what was going on. And she was like, "You need to tell her I'm still here.
Right.
You need to tell her I'm still here." And then she told me something that I told to her, and it was like an inside joke between them. There was no way I could have known that. So,
She's basically letting you know, hey,
yeah, she was like, "You need to tell her I'm still here." So I made sure, because I was so torn. I'm like, do I really tell her this? Like, you know, I don't want to make her upset, but I finally was like, "Hey, listen."
and
Don't
that
wanna make
inside
her
joke
upset.
helped it.
Yeah.
Don't want to make her upset. Don't want to look like you're crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
And plus, the inside joke would have gave her the clue. Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're telling the truth.
Yeah. So,
Now, out of all the places that y'all have investigated, what's been y'all's favorite to go and explore, to do what y'all do?
I mean, we've been to Waverly a bunch of times. That's probably like our number one.
Yeah, it seems like from all the people that we've had on that either they want to go to Waverly or have been to Waverly, and that's like the number one, like,
Yeah.
there's a name for it, but I can't really think of it. What's y'all's, like, without money or without time or without anything going on, if y'all could go explore one place in the entire world, where would it be?
Trans-Allegheny.
Where's that?
West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Nice.
It's on my list, but it was a lunatic asylum. And I
Perfect.
want to go. Yeah, I want to go so bad.
Hell yeah.
They actually, that was like
feel
one of
like-
the first places they did lobotomies and stuff.
I feel like paranormal would be automatically attracted to that type
Oh,
of
yeah.
thing.
Yep.
And that's something,
And I always wondered, like, some of these people who have these crazy episodes, I'm wondering really if it's like a demon that's attached to them or some type of paranormal thing that's preying on their mind.
yeah. And, I think mental health plays a big part in a lot of it too. 'Cause, there are people who do experience things that they're not believed. Oh, you're just crazy. Oh, it's just this. And,
Yeah, I think mental health and even drug usage goes like
Yeah.
hand in hand with paranormal stuff. I know when I was in high school, I did acid a lot, and some of my experiments with the experiences with the paranormal came around that time. Like, I wasn't on drugs per se, but like when I was off of it, it's when
Yeah.
like most of the shit would happen. And then you hear like even like just regular drug users, they're always talking about seeing things. Like I think that it goes like mental health and drug usage and all these factors kind of go one in one with each other on like
Yeah.
the spiritual realm of things.
And you've also got an interest in exploring caves.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did
Tell
see
us
some of
about
y'all's
that.
y'all's pictures on Facebook about that. Has anything ever happened in none of these caves? Have y'all ever seen anything or heard anything that was out of the ordinary? Because for some reason, you always get like these people that go cave exploring. They're always like, I heard a voice drawing me in closer to the cave and stuff like that. Has anything ever happened like that?
Not on any of like my wild cave things that I do. But there was an instance where I was at Mammoth Cave.
Yeah,
and
they
I
say
had
that
an
Mammoth
experience.
Cave is super haunted.
Yes, I took my son and we were on a lantern tour. So they don't turn on any of the bigger lights in there. It is literally
Yeah.
just a little lantern.
Now, did y'all go on the boat or was y'all on foot?
No, on foot.
Okay.
But we're sitting there and we're talking, and all of a sudden, all these big lights come on. And the tour guide turns around and he was like,
That don't happen.
thanks. Yeah, he was like, thanks for doing that. And then, like, he had to go turn them off, but no one else was there because where it was at, we could see where the little box was for the light switch.
Yeah.
No one was over there.
Yeah.
We got a comment here. They said, people that suffer mental health need therapy. 100.
All right, Captain Obvious.
His name is Keith Baker.
Never thought about that. Nah, that's a good comment, but definitely, yeah. If you're struggling with mental health, I know we talk about that a lot on the podcast. If you're struggling with mental health, reach out to somebody. Let everybody know that it's good. It's gonna be okay. Just find somebody to chat up with. Just have a good day have a good day. Just try to have a good day. Take it day by day.
That's right.
Yes.
Now I know for myself, for places that I would want to go investigate would be. I'm really big into whiskey and bourbon, and like these old bourbon distilleries have to have
Yeah.
shit going
Yes,
on.
they
in them.
do.
I know that Buffalo Trace, which is down there in Frankfurt, they had at one point in time. I think it still might be in activity, but they had their own fire station there.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that like some of the firemen died in some of the old fires that happened at the Buffalo Trace. So I think that for me personally to go to some of these distilleries and investigate there would be like kind of my first picks of where to go.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to get in with people. I wish around like Halloween and stuff that they would do like haunted tours of these places because they're so
Yeah.
rich in history and they've been there. Like I know Buffalo Trace has been making whiskey in Kentucky since before America was a country. So like
And there's another, I think it's like an abandoned distillery. I want to say Frankfurt. Because I watch a lot of Destination Fear, Project Fear. And they had gone out there in Frankfurt, and it was an abandoned distillery, and they got tons of activity.
We got to think of all the people that have just had accidents there and
Yeah.
died like over the years. I mean, these places have been there since, a lot of them have been there since like the 1700s, the
I
1800s.
remember one of the distillery tours I went on, the guide, he said, yeah, we got those rails up now. And I was like, why? He goes, because we had a couple people fall in the vat and
Oh my
never
God.
come out.
Yeah. Yeah, these,
Worst way to go.
especially around Kentucky. Kentucky's has like, it has to be like, if we're doing state by state, it has to be one of the most haunted states.
That's
At least I
right.
would think of like even Lexington. Lexington, the whole city to me is kind of creepy once the lights turn out. Like,
Yes.
no matter where you are here, it's like if you go walking into the streets at night, you're gonna either run into a bum
A
or
crackhead
you're gonna run
that's
into
asking
some
for
creepy
money.
shit. Like I
You're
always,
going to run into the devil at the crossroads.
yeah, literally.
Yes.
Like, I always feel like I'm being watched and walking. Like when I was a teenager and I'd be walking the streets just doing hoodlum activities. Like I always felt like I was being watched by someone. God, I can't speak today, Kenny. What is up with me? I'm not even gonna try. But some being was watching me.
Yes, something does happen every time that you're out at night. I do feel like this city is more creepy at night because it feels like there could be more than just a bunch of homeless crackheads and meth heads walking around trying to get your money. There could be beings that you can't see watching you,
Yeah, it's-
stalking you.
Yeah, it's definitely like an older town. Like even with like all the stuff that they've done to it, like it still just has like that old creepy town vibe to it. Even though it's kind of like we're evolving into a big city, but like not at a fast enough rate. You know what I mean? So it still kind of feels like historic and creepy. And
Yeah.
just, it got that vibe to it. I don't know how to really explain it. Another place,
Some odd experiences while driving at night around here.
yeah, for sure. Like
Seen some interesting things, to say the least.
I know, like how earlier I said that I used to do acid when I was a teenager. One time we were tripping balls, and my mom was like, "Hey, come up here. I know you have friends over, but we want tacos. We're going to get tacos." And so we were burning. We were burning in her car, just driving to go get tacos, and we sat at this light for 20 minutes and just sat there while the red light on all four sides were just all red, and we were like, what is even going on? Like even my mom doesn't do drugs, but she was even like, what the hell is going on? So I think these things do have factors when it comes to stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
it's not just like one person's mind kind of equates to what's going on.
And you know, you were asking earlier about your first paranormal experience. And the first thing that I can remember was when I was about 5 or 6 years old. And I was sat in a second story room in a house. I don't remember where it was or who it was. But my mom left the room for a little bit. And I could see her in the backyard through the window. So I felt safe just being able to see her. And I was sitting on this couch. And I looked to my left because I noticed movement
Yeah.
in my peripheral. And I look at this pillow, and the pillow crawls towards me, like scoots over. And as a kid, I went ballistic. I was like, help! Help! Mom! The pillow's attacking me!
I mean, seeing something crawl to you would spook the shit out of you.
The last paranormal stuff that I had happen to me was probably about like in the summertime. We were helping my girlfriend's grandma. Her husband passed, and she was moving out of this house in Michigan, and they've always said that the house was haunted and this, that, and the other. And so we were like, fuck it, let's bring the spirit box with us.
Yeah.
And we opened that spirit box, and the first thing that comes out of it is children laughing.
Oh no.
And then all throughout the night, we would sit in the living room and watch TV and stuff. We would just hear, like, we'd moved everything out of this house. There was
Yeah.
nothing but, like, very little stuff that, like, her grandma would have to go through. Like, we'd move the beds, the furniture. Like, there was nothing up there besides, like, clothes, pictures, just
Yeah.
other stuff like that. And we just hear all throughout the night. And it was the creepiest shit. And then 6 months beforehand, when they were doing the funeral for their grandpa, my daughter was upstairs, and I guess she was just by herself. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's very timid and doesn't like to be alone. Like she has to be like right on top of me. I wasn't there, but like usually she wants to be around whoever she's with.
Yeah.
And I guess she was upstairs, and they went up there, and she was talking to somebody, and they were like, "Who are you talking to?" She's like, "The angels. I'm talking to the angels." And I'm a religious person in my own being, but like I don't really talk about that or push that onto any other person or my kids or anything. I want my kids and whoever else I'm around to kind of make up their own things. So I never really talked about religion with my kids, but the fact that she was like, "It's the angels," like nobody's ever really told her what angels are.
Yeah.
And my son is the weirdest with that. He'll straight come up to me and just be like, "Yeah, Jesus is watching over us." I'm like, dude, like, where did you even learn who Jesus was? Like, he's like, "He's watching us, man. Like, you gotta.
See, kids can see things that we can't see.
Kids are a trip. They definitely have some innate ability that I think you lose over a time period. I know you said that you have a child, right?
Yeah, we have two. We have our son is 15 and our daughter just turned 9.
Now, have they ever experienced anything?
So my son.
He's laughing over here. He knows something.
Yeah, he knows something that we don't.
My son hasn't. My daughter, on the other hand, she has stuff happen all the time. She always comes out of her room and she's like, "Why are you saying my name?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, I didn't say anything."
Right.
And then one day she popped off with, "Well, you know, I'm just kind of scared because there's that guy that crawls across the ceiling."
Oh my God.
Well,
Ooh, that just gave me the
what-
fucking chills,
What
bro.
made it creepier?
Buddy, you gotta go.
You gotta go to your grandma's house for the night.
What made it creepier? So, and we have an episode. It's on YouTube. They did our house. It's the Elizabethtown Paranormal Society. It's under the Incognito family because at the time we didn't want our name out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they caught something going across the ceiling. Now, my daughter's never seen that. Like, we didn't tell her that.
Right.
So for her to
Y'all still
say
live in that house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
They also,
Costs money to move.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We're
Some sage, man.
we're in the attempts of trying to look at houses. That's
Get some sage and open those windows.
Well, and like, so they popped open our attic, and they had an SLS, and there were 2 figures up there, and then they caught an EVP that says they can't see us.
Oh,
That
shit.
creeped me out.
Now, are y'all very superstitious people?
I am.
You are. What about you?
So I am because my family grew up out there in the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah, it definitely.
It's
Yeah.
kind of filtered down through our family, but I still scratch my hand if it's itchy on wood.
Man, there's some weird stuff that happens out in the mountains.
Yeah. Well, like back when my, I think
A
it
lot
was,
of your family is out from like hazard and stuff.
yeah. Well, like my grandma, before she had passed away, anytime that there was a death in the family, she'd come back to her house and put stuff over the mirrors.
Yeah.
Anything reflective got covered.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it was always one of those things you don't want to trap it in the mirror and then
Yeah.
you have to deal with it the rest of your life type of deal. So it was always, every time there was a funeral or anything, stuff got covered over the mirrors and all that kind of jazz and all that stuff. But superstitions just always ran through my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have my own superstitions about stuff.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like the older of my family, they've all kind of passed now, sadly. But like, I don't walk through a door backwards. I don't. My daughter the other day she knocked on the door. She didn't knock on the door. She knocked on the walls, and I was like, "Hey, cut that out. Don't be knocking on nothing after 6 p.m. Like, you don't open a window on Sunday. Shit like that. Like,
I could see the taps inspiration here too.
Yes, that was our first team. That was what really got us going with all this. We do a lot of collabs with them, especially Victor and Megan. They're the 2 founders, and they're our best friends. So we do a lot with them.
Nice.
So
Our guy, Bradley E., a.k.a. J-Mac, said, "And wherever you go, there you are."
very cryptic.
yeah,
But, you know, your daughter's seeing something crawl along the ceiling. can be pretty fucking creepy.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, we're burning the house down off that.
And like just a couple weeks ago,
How old are they again? You said the one was 15. How old
And
is your
she's
daughter?
she's 9.
Okay, yeah.
So, but she still gets in shit all the time. So I was trying to lay down in her room a couple weeks ago, and I was like trying to go to sleep, and she was like, well, if you feel like something's watching you, she was like, just turn the other way and you'll feel better. Like,
Oh,
what do
no.
you mean?
Yeah, that's great advice.
That is a very great advice from a 9-year-old. That means that she's been dealing with this shit. Instead of come to y'all, she's like, nah, I'm just going to turn away and not watch them.
She's creepy AF, like for real, because our kids' school, the playground is right next to a cemetery.
Yeah.
So I've got a picture of her like meditating in front of tombstones that her teacher sent me one day. And then she came home from school and was like, hey, did you know that I know how to make a portal for spirits?
Oh,
It's
no.
like, where did you learn that?
It's like, little lady, you're going to have to start paying
Yeah.
rent.
She was like, well, my friend at school taught me. Why are you talking about how to make portals to the spirit world at school?
So did the friend also teach you how to meditate?
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, so then she told us how to make a portal. She was like, you just put 2 mirrors in front of each other and put a candle in the middle in the dark. I was like,
Don't do that.
I was
Don't.
like,
Yeah.
do not
Yeah,
do
don't
that.
do that.
Listen, I was as skeptical as anybody else, and I was like, F that Bloody Mary shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was
And then
like,
I went
do not
and
do that.
I went and tested an actual ritual. Don't
Don't do that.
You will summon a demon, and it will crawl through the window, and it'll say
Yeah.
hi, or
Yeah.
it'll crawl through the mirror, and it'll be like, "Hi, how are you?"
Yeah.
But not that nice at all.
See,
It will stay with you too,
Exactly.
attached.
Kenny, you seem like if a demon came to you, you'd be like, hey, I got some slugs in the closet. If you try to, I got some holy water and slugs in the closet. I think you want to go back through that mirror.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
go on back through the mirror. I did tell one of the shadow people, I was like, "Man, I'm going to make a PB&J. If you're still here when I get back, I will murder you."
That was probably my first things with the paranormal was the shadow people. I lived over by was not Applebee's Park anymore. I think it's just called
That's real hangry right there.
Oh.
Snickers. I was like, I'll murder you for a PB&J.
But
Fucking about your shadow.
I lived by the minor league ballpark over close to Castlewood, and I would see shadow people all the fucking time.
Oh, shit.
Like literally my first day before first grade, I remember like I was in my room watching Ben 10, and my mom was like, "Hey, you gotta go to bed." And so we turned it off, and I just remember looking up and seeing a shadow person beside my toy box, and I was like, I don't know what to do here. I'm supposed to be going to bed. Like, I need you to go. Like, I didn't say anything, but telepathically, I was like, hey.
Yeah, you need to get out of here. 'Cause I'm trying to go to bed.
And then one time, for some reason, I feel like it was close to Christmas. I don't know why I think this, but I remember I seen one in my room, and I was like, I can't deal with this tonight. I'm going to my mom and dad's room. So I went in there, and I was like, Mom, and she just woke up. And she's she's very superstitious. She's very into the spirit realm. Like I said, she's a quote unquote witch lady. Like, she's seen shit her whole fucking life.
She'll probably tell you not to put a fucking candle in front of a mirror. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she would
She's
be
smart.
she'd be the one to do it. Like, that's
no, the opposite.
I swear she's that kind of person. Like, she's the whole opposite of it. One time I remember she was, to deviate off of the story that I'm telling, but she said that on the same house that we lived in, that one night she woke up and she was looking over, and there was 2 boys playing in the closet, and they were talking to each other. And I remember this happening. Like, I remember her like telling the story. Like, I was very young, but I remember her going along with it, telling the story.
Yeah.
And I remember she telling me about these 2 boys that were talking in the closet. And then the next day on the news, there was 2 boys that were killed in the car crashes. And she said that was the 2 boys that were talking to her. But going back to my original story, so I seen the shadow people in my room, and my room was like from that door to where you're sitting right now. Like, it's that close to where my mom and dad's room was to mine. And so I walk in there, and I'm like, Mom, and she wakes up, and she's I've never seen her scream like that since then. And I ran over, and I'm scared to death. So I just run over to my dad, and I start beating the shit out of him. Start scratching him, start just hitting him in the face. And my mom does the same thing.
And mind you, Andy is a very skeptical person.
He's very skeptical. He says all the time he was too poor to believe in ghosts. We've had this discussion.
Even after seeing what appeared to be ghosts at one time.
He's seen spirits and stuff, but he's always
He's
told
like, man, I ain't got no change for you, dog. You gotta go.
he was always told me he was too poor to see ghosts. So he was like, you can't worry about spirits attacking you if you don't know when your next meal's coming. So me and my mom beat the shit out of him. He woke up, scratches on his face, scratches on his body, his arms. And then when I talked to my mom about it, I'm like, why did you freak out? I was like, it was just me. She was like, I seen that thing that you were referring to.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so
It followed you.
yeah, my cousins live in that house now. We were with sadly my grandma passed last Friday. R.I.P. my Nana Bar.
R.I.P. to her.
Yeah, so but we were talking about paranormal stuff. I wish I would have asked them because they live in that house now. I wish I would have asked them if they ever see anything in that house because my whole childhood I very seldom see things now. I had stuff happen to me as a teenager, like I said, at the house that my mom and dad live in now. But like that house to me was definitely the most haunted place that I ever lived. But yeah, we beat the ever-loving shit out of it.
The skeptic got his ass beat because they saw the same thing.
Bro,
We got a comment
just
here.
Get that out of my head now. I can see your dad just thinking that a shadow dude's like a homeless dude looking for change. He's like, I ain't got no money.
He's like, dude, you want to share this shredded wheat with me to go to bed? Like, he's like, you want to play jacks in the corner tonight?
J Mac had this to say.
I got
He
the
said,
Jenga tower set up if you want to play.
J Mac said, the whole reason why I live in Kentucky is because I had a great grandmother that was ran out of Tennessee for being a witch. Now, of course, they called her a witch because they couldn't explain what she did, but she was a spiritual healer. She used the Bible.
I definitely believe that. I think there's definitely akin to the traditional Christianity, and then there's like that Appalachian and even further south, like down in Louisiana and stuff, where like the voodoo stuff is a bunch of different traditions kind of meld. It's like Catholic, Christian, African cultures, Cuban cultures, all kind of put together. I definitely believe that a lot of these people that were called witches throughout the years were practicing some sort of Christianity that the church was just like, hey, that don't run here, brother. You ain't
Exactly.
you ain't putting you ain't putting enough in the pot to be doing all this.
Hulk Hogan's favorite churches. But that's what I feel like too, because there's different types of churches, different types of religion that we know.
What did you grow up? You said that you grew up mainly Christian. What denomination was that?
So I never really got into church until we lived in Indiana.
Yeah.
And it was mainly Wesleyan.
Now, that's the scariest part you've said so far, living in Indiana.
I agree.
Yeah, as soon as you hit any sort of, as soon as you hit the state line between Indiana and any other state, it's like the roads literally just become gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I'm a fan of Indiana.
keep on saying what you were saying. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. We started going to church quite frequently up there, and Wesleyan Protestant was my denomination, and I still feel it is to this day. It's just where we live at now. There's no Wesleyan churches anywhere nearby.
That's like what I was saying earlier. Is you kind of just practice what you believe in as yourself, which I think to me is more what I feel like religion should be. I don't think that religion should be as organized as it is. Like, we've talked about this a million times on this show. I mean, I have the 5 episodes. Somehow it always comes back to religion on the show. It's like the best churches that I've ever been to have either been way out in the sticks, hillbilly country bumpkin churches, or it's been the black churches in the inner city. And for me, any other church is like either like it feels like it's a scam to make money. But for me, those 2 churches are where it feels like the spiritualness of it actually comes through.
Just brought back a memory.
What, you went to a black church?
No.
I got baptized at a black church. I don't know if I've said that before.
I'm not sure what their denomination is, but it's one of those churches where they drank a lot of alcohol. And they invited me.
Was it the snakes? They have snakes?
No. What?
The Pentecostals?
They have snakes? I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
know
didn't see
exactly
no
what you're talking
snakes
about.
while I was there.
What'd you say?
I was just saying, I know the churches that you're talking about.
Yeah, evangelicals maybe. I knew somebody that actually went to those churches.
I don't know.
But keep on saying what you were saying.
I don't know. The dude that ran the church is
He's just an alcoholic, is what you're saying.
from Russia, like an actual Russian dude. He's a real cool dude, but
Orthodox, probably.
maybe right. So anyway, they invited me to this feast and alcohol, and I was like, all right, I'll come for the food and alcohol. And well, they sent me and Michael down to like the basement of the church to get something or do something, right? We was getting something out of the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And we closed out
More vodka.
Yeah. We closed out the lights on the way out, and as we was walking back towards the stairs, he was in front of me, I was behind him, and I heard footsteps following behind me, like heavy boots. And we got to the stairs, and the way it's set up, you got to close the lights out before you leave and get to the stairs. So we're walking through complete darkness, and I hear heavy boot steps walking right behind me. And I was just like, Michael, please keep moving faster up the stairs.
Now, you have the most recent paranormal activity from the three of us on the show. Would you like to share what happened at work to you a couple weeks ago?
Oh, yeah. I was walking up to clock in, and I seen somebody walking up to the clock in station in front of me, and it looked similar to somebody I had seen before. But when I looked directly at them, they just blinked out of existence, like they were never there. And so I stood there for just a second looking around me to see if anybody else had seen it, and I was the only one there. I thought it was kind of interesting.
You know what we should all try to do as a group? We should try to contact one of our supervisors at UPS and try to get in there to do an investigation, because that place has to be haunted. People have died there. I've walked through that building and been like, I just heard my name called 5 times. There's nobody around me. We have to do an investigation there at some point.
Exactly.
Talk about the engineer that got 8.
Oh, yeah. We work at
seen that,
UPS, and we came into work one day, and they have all the belts just shut off whenever you first walked in. And I'm like, what
Normally, they got them like
running.
up and
Yeah.
running.
And we're like, what the fuck's going on? They're like, some dude was ate up today.
Yeah, and you could see from the belt there was
Blood
there
still
was
dripping off,
still
yeah.
blood on the belt. They
Ran it 30 minutes later.
they didn't really clean it up, and you could see like a pool of what was a liquid that they tried to clean up, but it was like you could see the fucking blood stain on the ground from where the belt ate him up. And we worked 30 minutes after that, just running the belt.
Oh, man.
And then
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody got some packages with a little bit of dried blood from that.
I wish I would have seen that. I wish I would have walked in and seen that. I'd still have money left over.
Oh, man.
But that place, we work at UPS here in Lexington, and there's been, I know for sure, 2 deaths since we've been there.
Now, that engineer that they was talking
And then the
about,
dude that fell through the sky windows.
They said the dude, that engineer that died, they said he loved his job.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was told too. And
And,
his name was Andrew also. That's my dad's name. So everybody called up my dad and was like, hey. No, Johnny's not my dad. Oh, yeah.
I'm the co-host.
Do we have a picture of Nice Guy Andy anywhere?
Yes, we do.
Right
Hold
there,
up, hold
that
up.
cartoon character.
I'll show you
there.
the actual Nice Guy Andy.
Don't do
Because
the
I
screen.
got the only recorded image of the man, the myth, the legend, when he's not here. This is Nice Guy Andy. But that guy had the name Andrew, so everyone thought that he was that Andrew that fell and died. They were just trying to check and see if their Andrew was okay.
Yeah, I remember I was working one day, and in between the area that we work, there's a box where the engineers would go to shut off the belt or do whatever electric things they need to do. And normally, you're not going to be messing with this box unless the belt is off.
Yeah.
But is up and running, and in my peripheral as I'm moving bags, I see a very tall man walk up to this box, open it and start doing things to the box in my peripheral. And then I'm like, this thought hits me. I'm like, why haven't they stopped the belt if he's over there like
Messing with things.
messing with the box, touching the box right now? So I go and look over at him, blinks out of existence, just like that person that was walking up to the clock-in station. But they told me, I went and asked around about that engineer that died, what he looked like, and they told me he was very tall with short gray hair. And that's what I seen in my peripheral, somebody that was like 6'3", 6'4", walking up to that engineer station. I have to imagine that was the engineer that I seen, but in a ghost form.
Now, at work, we had a really crazy incident happen to me and him. We're not going to really get into it because I think we've got into this story every single time that we've done this podcast. But what happened is basically a glitch in the Matrix happened, and we did the same thing over twice. Has that ever happened to you? I'm kind of split and fractured, and that happened to y'all.
I've had it happen to me a lot. But yeah, so I was at work and I had already done all my stuff. I knew I had done it, and then I did it again. I was like, I feel like I just did this. Like, and where I'm at, it wasn't like a repetitive thing because I worked at Gaddy's Pizza.
Oh, I love a Gaddy's Pizza.
Yeah, I worked at the one in E-Town for a long time. We had weird shit happen there.
Oh, the Gaddy Town here in Lexington, I mean, even when you go, is it like the arcade kind of deal? Mm-hmm. Like, that place just seems fucking off. Like, it's like it got the back rooms vibe to it. Like, it...
You'll never leave.
Yeah, but we were at work, and basically we had 2 breaks back to back. Mm-hmm. And when I looked at the time, like, I remember I went and I sat in a rolly chair just like this, kicked my legs up, just looked at my phone for like 30 minutes. Because sometimes you just... At work, where we work, sometimes shit just don't happen. Like, I mean, sometimes it's like that. It's going, it's fast.
Or it's boring as shit.
And then sometimes it's boring as shit, like Johnny just said. But so we had a break, and I remember I went outside and I smoked cigarettes, and I remember I didn't bum a cigarette that day. And then the second break was called, and I went out there and I was like, yeah, I'm going to need a fucking cigarette because we already had break. And everybody out there is like, dude, you're tripping. You're losing your mind. We have not had break. And then Kenny comes out there with an empty sack of lunch, and he's like, yeah, we had break.
I sat down. I was not having nobody's bullshit. They was like, y'all, blah, blah, blah. And I looked at Leon. I was like, don't listen to anything they say. Do you see that I don't have a PB&J? That means we already had break. I've already eaten.
But, yeah, that's to me is like, fuck a ghost. Time splits and stuff like that.
I'm just mad I didn't have another sandwich for the second break.
Does that ever happen to you?
Not per se like that. The job I do, I work outside a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I generally work by myself the whole time I am working.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of, some of the guys will have like earbuds in, like listening to music. Others will have like their truck running to listen to the radio and stuff. I don't, just because I like to be able to hear if a customer's coming out or something like that. But there's been a couple of times where I'll just be starting a job and then like not even what feels like 2 seconds later, I'm already finishing up. It's just complete loss of time. And then they put me on an antidepressant, probably a year ago now. Mm-hmm. And I've never been on it before.
Mm-hmm.
I go out to this job and I start working on it, and I feel like I'm making good time and everything.
Yeah.
It only take me like an hour to do the job. And I looked down at my watch, and I've already been at it for 2.5 hours. And I was like,
shit.
oh, God. So I had to hurry up and finish up. But, yeah, it's...
Yeah, that kind of thing happens to me a lot on the road. Like, if I'm taking a trip to somewhere, like, I always feel like there's a loss in time at some point in the drive where I'm like, how did we get to this mile marker? I've been, like, not asleep because I've been driving, but, like, mentally I've been asleep, if that makes any sense.
Going back to your whole fractures in time and stuff, there's a podcast that I listened, or I used to listen to. I don't listen to it anymore. They changed the host on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's called Radio Rental.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's real stories told by real people. And some of the stuff that they go over is just insane. Like, there's this one story of, like, this guy, him and his girlfriend were going upstairs to his apartment or whatever. They couldn't get in because the door was locked, and he was like waiting on her to get the key out. She threw it like she was like, "Oh, I must have left it down in the car, so I might be back." So she left. Well, then she comes right back up, cussing him out, throwing up a storm, and all this other stuff, and then just storms off. Well, then she comes back again. She's like, "Hey, I got the key." And he's like, "What are you talking about? You were just up here." And she's like, "No." She's like, "I've been down there getting the key the whole time." And so, like for that guy, he's like, he's never been able to get anybody to believe it.
I definitely, out of all the paranormal stuff that I've had happen to me, I think those are like, wouldn't you say, Kenny, that those are the creepiest things that happen? Yeah. Is like the time fractures and stuff, and when you lose time or gain time or something weird happens out of nowhere, and it kind of feels like you're trapped in two different realities at the same point, the same helix point together. Like those are the point in life where it's like, what the fuck is even going on? And I know, like, I don't know if y'all have ever done mushrooms or acid or anything, but I can't even smoke marijuana anymore because of shit like that. Like shit like that happens to me way too often. Like I don't see spirits and stuff per se, but like things like that happen to me way more than it should. And those to me are the creepiest things that ever happen.
Now, do you believe in I don't know what the actual term is for it, but I've always called it reality swap.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I think there's a part of me that thinks that I wake up in a different reality every time I go to sleep.
Okay.
Now that's like I probably seem crazy for saying something like that.
You don't.
But I think that there's a part of me that thinks like how if I do this, or if I pick up my phone at a certain point, like that's me splitting off into completely different. Yeah.
Leads to a different reality.
Yeah, I'm a crazy person though, so let's
splitting
not
off into another Leon's universe.
Yeah, I'm a different kind of person. Yeah, I'm too poor to get mac and cheese, motherfucker. Yeah, I'm too poor to get mac and cheese, motherfucker. You don't need to be talking about shit like this.
Talk about your nihilist. I was poor before you were even born.
But yeah, time splitting, to me, that's kind of the scariest. Spirits and stuff are spooky. Cryptids are spooky. UFOs are spooky. But whenever you get a sense of familiarity is kind of what I sense it to. That's the creepiest shit. Like when you walk into a room and you're like, why did I even come in here?
Yeah.
And then it doesn't hit you till 15 minutes later.
It's like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah, have y'all ever had anything like that happen? I've never had maybe once after a dentist appointment when I was really young. That was the only time I ever had an out-of-body experience. Have y'all ever had an out-of-body experience?
I can't say I ever have. It's never happened to me.
Miss Paranormal over here has had everything happen to her, so...
I can't say I've had that happen.
The only time I've ever had that happen to me is, like I said, was after a dentist appointment. I could see myself walking into my room and laying my head on the bed and being like, ah! You ever had an out-of-a-body experience? You've had you're a fucking professional weird over here. If you were a superhero, that'd be your name. Professor Weird.
For a time, I was practicing astral projection, and during that, I was able to see myself sleeping and see other people, and I even met somebody through astral projection. They were also astral projecting. I don't know how I knew it, but we knew
in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, we knew when we saw each other that we were both astral projecting. It was just a really interesting experience. It's hard to actually do it and to get into it because it takes like a lot of focus and then like numbing your mind and just you basically start by painting an image of everything around you until you can see the world breathing around you, and then you can see yourself. Like you start to it almost feels like there's a rope connected to you and your body, and you kind of gotta force your way farther and farther away from your personal being until you're able. Like you're floating above your house and you're looking at other people's houses and you're looking at the world around you until you're floating
so far up that you can see the whole earth and you start to see the horizon and
I've
the
heard that.
stars. And
I've heard that before.
Same.
it's a very powerful experience. But then in the blink of an eye, you can be ripped right back away from, like, you try so hard to get so far in the astral projection, and then in a moment, you're clipped back. You're sent back to your body all of a sudden.
So, for all the things that y'all have seen and all the things that's happened to y'all, do y'all think that these things will ever be kind of, instead of folklore and instead of just hearsay and old wives' tale, do y'all think that these things will ever be scientifically proved? Like, in the next 100 years, will paranormal activity be something where it's like, oh yeah, this is this, instead of, oh, you're crazy or old wives' tale? Do y'all think that this will ever come out where we've discovered that these things are real and that these things are actually happening around us? Because in my personal belief, I think that, I mean, there's probably stuff happening around us right now that we can't
Yep.
see.
Yeah.
Not to say that this place is haunted or anything by say, but things happen around us all the time.
I don't know. I want to say yes, but on the other hand, I'm like, there are so many. I mean, even now, depending on what like evidence you get, somebody else is going to dispute it. It's always
Right.
going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think that's kind of the beauty of it, to me at least, is like, I don't really know how to explain it. It's like, not everybody believes, you know?
yeah.
And that's kind of the beauty of it, is like, whenever you have something happen and you tell somebody, oh, you're fucking crazy, man, you need to chill out on whatever you're doing. Like, you was drunk or high or whatever. You didn't have enough sleep. Like, I think that's kind of the beauty of it, is like, if it got proved, I think I'd be in a constant state of anxiety, for one. For two, I would be like, now that they told us that all this stuff is real. Like,
This is exactly why they have facilities like Area 51, because people like you wouldn't be able to handle the truth.
yeah, definitely not.
You'd just be like losing your fucking shit. If government came out and was like, yeah, dude, they're real. Aliens watch you sleep, don't you know? Leon would be like this for the rest of forever, bro.
That's why I just stopped smoking weed, because I had to stop smoking weed because the mural on my window looks too much like God. And sometimes I'll look at it and be like, what are you trying to say to me? But I think it would be nice if at some point in time, I don't think it would ever happen in our lifetime, but maybe my kids or my grandkids, that if they came out and was like, all these things are around us, it's happening, which I believe that it does, don't you? Yeah, of course you do. I know you. And I think that both of y'all agree with the same thing. Even on our own theories of everything that happens, we all believe in a different way of what's
That's
going
right.
on.
See, I'm so relaxed that when I do see these things,
You don't even care.
it's like it's one of those things that I know that I'm not tripping, because I'm just like, okay, well, obviously we've got realism here, and I'm not panicking, my heart's not racing, I'm not scared or
See,
worried or nervous.
That's why we're the dynamic duo. We're Batman and Batman.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting there like staring at whatever it is, like, what are you? Please help me understand.
You want to hear my weirdest theory, Kenny? And to y'all too.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably going to sound nuts for saying this. But I think whatever the human mind creates is made in a parallel dimension. Like, I think that Star Wars exists.
That's an interesting
I think that
theory.
Batman exists. I
Yeah.
think that all the, like, whatever the human mind can create happens in a different existence.
There's a theory that our brain power has a lot more to do with creating the reality around us than everyone would assume. Like, they say that there's only ever recorded evidence of using 11% of our brain, but that's because we do not have the technology to be able to understand or see the other percentage of the brain that we're using, which is creating a type of reality around us. Now, you can do things like, for me, I try and push positivity out and put
I
positivity.
do the
to
same
world.
thing. I don't know if y'all do that also, but
So-
I pray every night that I wake up in a world that's better than the day that I went to sleep in.
Yeah, I feel like there's powers at play that want both. There's both good powers and bad powers at play, and it just decides what side of the coin that some people are routing for. Like some people, for whatever reason, they have a negative outtake on life,
Yeah.
and they just want to try and drag other people down with them, or they just push out this negative energy, and you can sense that off of a person. When you walk into a room, you don't even have to speak to them. I can feel an aura coming off of people.
Feel the
negative,
energy.
positive, neutral, whatever it may be. And that's another part of the brain that I think they don't have the technology to record. Like you can, just the senses that you can tell from people and certain like ways that you can communicate with someone without actually speaking to them.
Right. Has there ever been a place that y'all have walked into investigating where y'all have been like, nope, we're not doing this?
There's been one place that I walked into, and it was super negative. I still went ahead and did this investigation.
You're braver than most. You're braver than
Most would have been like,
Yeah, 'cause
nope.
I
I'm out
feel
of
like
this
the
bit.
last guest that we had in, they were an investigation team. I'm pretty sure that they said that if they walk into the place, that they will not touch it if it feels like
Yeah.
that.
No, there's everywhere we've gone.
I feel like there's a mix of both.
Yeah, we still go through with it because I'm like, one, most of the time I'm paying to be there, so I'm like, I'm not wasting my money. I'm gonna investigate.
Yeah. It's like,
Y'all ever heard of Lock 7?
No.
Lock 7 on the Kentucky River. It's a dam.
We've been looking for he has these stories that are beyond my comprehension, but we've been looking for a team to go investigate this place. It's called
Okay.
Lock 7. And he's had a bunch of shit happen there, and there's rituals that's been happening there. We need a team to go down there with us. At some point, would y'all like to accompany us to go down to this place?
Sure.
It's on the Kentucky River. There's a bunch of, he said, rituals. He said Native American shit that's happened there. He's had his
And
own experiences there,
It's a 10-minute drive from my house.
Yeah.
It's right down the road.
which I
But
don't,
there's time, like, I won't go there alone.
Yeah.
I refuse. Like, I've done it, and the things that I've seen while I was alone,
Like I'm not doing it again.
there are things there that want to prey on you.
Yeah.
And if you go alone, they have so much more advantage
Yeah.
than if you go with somebody else. Because I went with people and I went
Mhm.
alone, and the times that I went alone, I seen a lot more than when I was with people.
You're
that-
more vulnerable.
that's like
Yeah.
what we said earlier is like when you're not thinking of something. Like
Mm-hmm.
if all five of us went to where you said, you know how me and you are, we'd be cracking jokes.
There'd be a low chance that we would actually see anything
Yeah.
spooky.
Yeah.
But if you brought equipment like EMPs and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, you would. I guarantee we would get some type of energy.
Oh, for
down there.
sure. I think anywhere. I think if you brought equipment anywhere, at least to me, like every place. Explain to why you. What,
Sometimes, I mean, most of the time we do go to these places, you will catch stuff. But we've had a couple of places we've been to where we just don't get
don't
anything.
get nothing.
And I mean, it's like that podcast we were on a couple of days ago. He's like, even if you don't catch anything, you learn something.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
You know, it's like as a paranormal investigator, you hope to catch something, but even if you don't, it's a good night either way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Because
definitely.
One way you're either proving what's happening or you're disproving it.
So what made y'all want to step into this round? I know you said that you've worked with other people. Well, what made y'all want to step off and do y'all's own thing? Is it just that y'all didn't want to deal with any other people? Because I mean that'll
That
that'll
happens.
do it to you. Yeah.
No, and like I said, we still do a lot of stuff with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want them to hear this and think we're like bad mouthing them or anything.
Oh, for sure not. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to everybody that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just
They gave you a platform to begin your career.
Yeah, it just kind of came down to the team had gotten so big. We had added so many people, and
That it kind of got to the point where like
trying to do anything you couldn't coordinate with anybody.
Yeah. Like I
And-
said earlier, if we all went together, we'd probably, me and him would
Yeah.
be cracking jokes. We'd be cracking jokes
Well,
with him. We'd all be,
Well, see,
Like-
and we do that when we go on investigations anyways. I'm saying, like, even getting to an investigation, we couldn't do it.
yeah.
They
Because
like,
one person, oh, my kid needs
I
this.
would
There
reach
be-
out,
or
and they
there'd
would be
be-
like, nah. And I'm like, cool. So we would book it for us to do.
And then they get mad at you.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah, they, and then, and it wasn't that they had an issue with it. Victor and Megan, they're the ones they're the founders. That's their team. It was just kind of, they didn't want us on two teams. And I was like, well, I think we're just going to branch out for right now because we wanted more flexibility to be able to do what we wanted to do.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, for sure.
We've done so many investigations because we like to do that in our spare time.
I think smaller teams are better for investigations.
Yes, they are.
If you roll up with 12 people, the ghosts are going to be like,
They're scared of you. I think
that.
it's kind of like how, like, whenever you're young and you go camping and they're more scared of you than you
Yeah.
are of them. I
Yep.
think it
Yeah.
equates to something like that.
Well, and when we would all go together, because it had been a while since we hung out, then everyone wants to just make it a hangout kind of
Yeah.
thing. So,
Like, who's bringing the beers?
yeah, exactly.
And there would be at least one person that could be like a meatloaf,
Hey.
like how you saw the episode of Ghost Adventure where he
Yeah,
throws his device and he's
Listen,
like,
if I've learned,
"Oh, something pulled it out of my hands, but it's not."
yeah.
if I learned anything from horror movies, wherever you bring the alcohol and whatever else is where the ghosts are gonna be.
So,
They're gonna show up to the party
when
regardless.
we went to Brushy Mountain, they make moonshine there. They
Nice.
have a barbecue
Yeah.
restaurant and moonshine. I had never had moonshine before, and they do like a tasting, and I was like, "This is great! 5 shots for $25." I was not taking into account.
And you drink, but he doesn't?
my
Or
God.
does he?
No, he doesn't
You don't drink at all?
No.
5 shots will put you.
Oh, I was on the ground. I have pictures.
You went
My
to
ass
4-wheel
was-
drive. You was
My,
crawling on
oh, I wasn't even crawling. I was
Biggest
just laying
mistake.
there. I was just laying there. I was like, "Why am I so hot? The world is moving." And they were like, "Heifer, you got to get up. We got to investigate." I was like, "I can't move right now. Y'all got to leave
Now,
me."
do you think that if you would have drank a little less, do you think that it would have equated with your ability to tap into something? Because at least to me, I think substances do have something to do with it. Even when it comes
Yeah.
back to like old native roots, like they're always
the old peace pipe.
they're always smoking
Native
tobacco
American
to
peace pipe.
fucking they give tobacco as a tobacco and whiskey as
Yeah.
a
They say they
gift to the spirits.
They say they used to smoke the peace pipe as a way to have peace with the spirits because otherwise the spirits would be fucking with them all night long. You wouldn't be able to
So-
sleep because the Wendigo would be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, buddy."
We don't say the W word on this
I do because I
podcast.
don't give a fuck about them, dude.
So-
You can't spook me.
Coming
with
back
your
to the
little fucking-
tobacco thing, I actually did an investigation at the Bell Witch Cave last year.
Where's that?
Adams, Tennessee. And they
Nothing good
actually
happened in Tennessee.
they actually do an offering before you get started of tobacco and stuff. They make you do an offering beforehand.
The
So-
So the
Bell
spirits will be chilling. They're like, all right. you're
Yeah.
cool."
Yeah, I definitely believe that the substances of the earth definitely have a way to contact them. Like, I definitely think that like
Yes.
tobacco, alcohol, recreational drugs, like these things definitely will get you akin to more
Yeah.
of where they're at than where you're at.
Yeah.
But that's just how it goes, especially with the Bell Witch.
Yeah.
I've
What
heard
is
and seen
the
that.
story behind that?
So it was a family in Adams, Tennessee, and it started with, which is like the 1800s, but it started with their kid coming in, and he was like, "Hey, I saw this weird dog rabbit thing outside. Also, here are these bones that I found."
Yeah.
Dog, rabbit thing.
Yeah.
As
And,
they do.
And they were
They're like, is that what we're
"Go
having for
put-"
dinner tonight?
Yeah,
cooking
they were
that?
like, "Go put this back."
It's a good dinner.
And then supposedly this witch, like, just tormented the dad. And they say that is the reason that he died, is that she killed him.
Yep.
Or he killed himself.
Yeah.
Paranormal activity.
Really?
And
This
when-
was in Tennessee?
yes, that is the only place I've ever gone, going back to the cryptids. When we went because they have the cave, but then on the actual ground it's a Native American burial mound, and they're all buried in the fetal position. But they also have, it's called the Haunted Dell.
Yeah.
And they have artifacts from the farm and stuff in there. Well, we were in there, and we were investigating, and then from out in the woods, now mind you, this is in the middle of nowhere, you just hear this loud whoop. And I was like, I've never heard anything like that. I was like, I was not prepared for Sasquatch tonight. I was ready for ghosts.
Y'all believe in Bigfoot?
Oh,
You should have hit him with one
100%.
back. He went whoop whoop.
Yeah. I was
Yes,
like,
right.
oh my gosh. I was so excited. But, yeah, we definitely Bigfoot. And because where we live close to Mammoth Cave. A couple years ago, there was some guy, and apparently he had been drinking and swore he saw Bigfoot and started firing off shots in the national park. So, yeah.
That's right.
We live in a crazy spot.
I wonder if the ghost theory is the same as, like, you know, like when they say if a tree falls in the woods, did it even fall if you weren't there?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like,
Does it make a sound?
do you think spirits do stuff whenever we're not around?
I do. Just because we've had it happen at our house. Like, I've had stuff happen before we would go somewhere, so then I'm like, well, I'm going to set up my stuff while we're gone, and I'm going to set up this camera.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, stuff will start happening while we're gone.
Maybe it's that
So-
person that was crawling on that ceiling
Yeah.
that just came down to do some stuff and he's back on the ceiling.
Yeah, if my daughter told me that she saw something crawling on the spirit, she's going to have to pay rent the next week.
Yeah. Especially if she keeps on coming to you and telling you that now she's learned how to open up a portal.
See,
yeah.
she's so silly that I'd be like, hey, relax. Calm down. You are good. Now, if my son, on the other hand, came to me and said something, we got to leave. Because he don't fabricate shit. That little dude he likes a bunch of weird YouTube videos, and he likes just weird, nonsensical things. My son, if he came to me and said that there was something, I'd be like, hey, all right, I believe you. If my daughter came to me and was like, hey, there's something crawling on the ceiling, all right, whatever you say, little girl.
You're just seeing things, so
Yeah.
we're staying.
Now, my son came to me and was like, yeah, I seen something in my room. We got to leave the house.
You got to perform an exorcism on that house or maybe
Yeah.
burn it down.
You know, speaking of like cave diving and exploring.
They go cave diving.
I do.
Yeah.
He doesn't. I do, though.
What, you don't like to do it? You scared of it? What?
I mean, it really doesn't bother
Don't want to
me.
get your body in there? I feel that. I don't, like, I've seen the videos that y'all posted. I was like, nope, not for me.
Look,
I'm a bit more burly.
Yeah, for
It's a little
sure.
bit harder for me to fit in those kind of places. But she's more willing to just go for it, and so I just let her have at it. But yeah, then my work life just kind of takes over in the summer. It's a little bit harder for me to take off to go do that kind of stuff. But
yeah, I'm a little claustrophobic.
Yeah,
so.
same.
But besides that experience I had at Lock 7 where I seen the Wendigo peek out of the cave and watch me and my friend,
There's a cave? Now I'm
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
definitely down.
it's caved in though. You can't go very far back because
I want to check this
yeah,
out.
they
Now
u-
I'm definitely down.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing this for a long time.
they used to explore in the cave until a couple people died, and then the county
Yeah.
artificially blew it up, so
Yeah.
you can't. It's caved in now, so
Well,
you can't go
and-
too far back. But it's enough that something peeked around the corner and watched us, and the only way I could describe it is about 6.5 foot tall skeleton of a wolf deer looking creature, and it had these glowing red eyes inside the skull of a deer, like antlers on the head, and it peeked out at us. And my buddy immediately was freaking out. He was like, we gotta go. And I was like, by the time I put this in reverse, it could just be on the hood of the car.
Yeah.
Well, and they say, like, caves, because a lot of them are built out of limestone and stuff,
Oh,
that is a good thing for energy.
well, they say
That's-
limestone in general
yeah.
because, like, I know we have a buddy that we play Xbox with up in
Mm-hmm.
Maine. Y'all play video games?
I do, yeah.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Okay, we got to exchange gamer tags before we leave. But he lives in Maine is a very limestone rich place. They say that limestone is very, like, any place that has limestone is gonna be very paranormal. that have a lot of activity.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, go ahead.
No, he's just said that's
I
right.
said that's right.
Yeah, no, because you figure, like I said, Mammoth Cave, a lot of stuff. They did like a whole show a couple years ago. It was called Hellier.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people down there that believe that there are things that come out of the cave.
Yeah, this is why I
Yeah.
don't want to go exploring the cave, because I seen that thing peek out and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, no, buddy, that's not. If I was like a mile underground and crawling through these little passageways and I knew that there was like only one way back and I seen that thing just peek around the corner like, hey, buddy.
It just wants to
I'd be like,
eat you.
wrap it up.
Well, there's been stories of people investigating caves, not for paranormal, but
Yeah.
just for like what you do, where you just go, let's say, fucking just go in there. Of people hearing something like, "Hey, over this way, this
Yeah.
way. This is where we need to go."
Absolutely not.
And then it just it
Absolutely
draws you
not.
deeper into the cave. I don't know if it's like some sort of siren sound or
Well, you also got to watch, though, because when you go underground, and you're in a cave, so there's water dripping, and your brain will just start to make stuff up because
Yeah.
you're in pure darkness. So
That's
your
right.
brain just starts to make stuff up as it goes, too.
I think a place around here for y'all to investigate is the whole entire, like, at least this north side of Lexington.
Mm-hmm.
Underneath most of the streets is tunnels.
I've heard that about Somerset, too.
On Loudon, which is like right over by my house, there's tunnels all around that connect. I don't know if they were for like underground railroad things or for what they were used for, but sometimes when you drive through the city, if it's really rainy or cold, you can see the steam coming from the sewers of where the caves are.
Yeah.
So, and then there's entrances that, like, if you drive down Russell Cave, you can find. I've never been there, but
Yeah.
from what I've understood from living here, as long as I've been here my whole life.
Have you ever experienced a siren call?
No.
Something calling out to you to come investigate?
I've definitely had some. I remember
I
when
don't think so.
I was like, I know I've said too much acid this whole entire podcast.
Yeah.
But I remember one time, me and my buddy, we were at like the end of our trip, and we'd been tripping for like 6 or 7 hours, and we're standing on the side porch of my mom's house, and we're smoking a cigarette, and off in the distance, we're talking. We're not really paying attention to much because we're at the end of our trip, and we're just chatting it up, and we hear what sounds like a twig snap, and then we just see all the birds that were in the trees just got up, and I looked at him. I said, "We need to go the fucking inside." So like I haven't had like a siren call like from what you've said of like where it's somebody directly calling you, but like I equate that to the same kind of deal where it's something calling you to come that way indirectly, if that makes any sense.
Have y'all ever had a banshee call out at you? I have. When I was younger at my grandma's house, it was for the 4th of July. We thought that we were hearing fireworks, but this did not sound like a firework. This sounded like a full-on banshee scream right over the house. And we were looking around, no firework, no nothing. All you could see was nothingness after that scream.
I will say something similar that happened to me when me and my girlfriend that I'm with now, she was pregnant and we just moved into our own place. We had went to Kroger and to get groceries because we was on EBT or whatever, and we was getting a bunch of groceries because we just moved in. And we came back and the door was open. So we was like, I'm very dumb fuck, and I leave shit open or I don't close stuff, and I'm very bad at stuff like that. So when that happens, I just equate it to, I did that myself.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't nothing but malevolent. God, I can't speak today, Kenny. What's going on? But I didn't equate it to anything malevolent. But we was taking the groceries inside, and we just heard a woman scream at the top of her lungs, and somebody had died on like right in front of our like our driveways right here. Somebody had died like right next to it due to gun violence, and a woman that my mom knew, she died in that house. That's why we got it for so cheap.
Yeah.
And we heard just a woman scream, and we just closed the fucking door, packed the groceries inside. So I will say that I have probably had a banshee experience happen. I don't know if it was exactly that, but it was something very similar to that.
Yeah.
It seems like it.
I've had some eerie experiences late at night while gaming on Xbox. And one that always comes back to mind is a night that you got to preheat that, buddy. You got to preheat. Oh,
There it goes.
Yeah.
Gotta hit the vape beforehand.
That's right.
I make another drink. On our last, I think we got 20 minutes until we call off.
Yep.
So, sitting there playing some Xbox on the party chat with some people, and I hear a knock at my window. I take one of my earphones out as I'm hearing this knock, 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 knock. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, no, there's nobody knocking on my window. It's got to be like something with the house, or like somebody upstairs is like fucking knocking on the wall or something happening, right? So I'm ready to just let that go. I'm like, I'm not investigating that for not even a second. I'm getting ready to put my headphone back over my ear when I hear an ear-splitting scream, that of a woman, just blood-curdling. In the distance, you can tell the distance of where someone's screaming. Just, it sounded like somebody had their nose against the glass of my window and was just screaming right into the glass. Like, the hair on the back of my neck stood up, and I got goosebumps running down my arms. And it was like, thinking logically, I have an 8-foot tall privacy fence and barbed wire. Why in the hell would anybody be in my backyard? Yeah, I'm sure. Like, you could have just fucking knocked on the door like a normal person. Instead of screaming at my window.
I've only been in your house once, and I didn't even come inside.
That means that you found out how to scream like a woman.
Yeah, and this screaming went on for like 30 seconds. And I was asking people in my party, I'm like, are you hearing this shit on my mic?
I remember this.
Are you hearing this on my mic? And somebody said, yeah, I hear something on your fucking mic in the background. I was like, yeah, that's somebody screaming outside my house right now like they're dying. And I'm just sitting here having a conversation while the screaming's going on. And then I look over at the window, and silence just fills the room. And this is the type of silence that was so unnerving. And I had this want to look out the window, but I could feel that something was going to be staring right back at me, just waiting for me to investigate. And that night, I did not go outside and investigate shit.
Now, you said that you were a gamer, you play Xbox. Have you ever had anything, because I know that we've talked about this beforehand, any crazy glitches in game or anything happened to you while you were in the game? To where you were like, this is not supposed to happen.
I can't say anything that's happened in the game other than the game is just not patched properly.
So I remember, because we were Xbox 360 and PS3 and PS2 and even beforehand Nintendo 64 kind of gamers. For me, shit would happen where like the game would literally just lock in on a person's face and it would be like saying words, but it wouldn't be doing anything. That happened to me so much as a kid to where I'd be like, okay, my parents are asleep, time to turn off the game, go to bed. Anything like that. Anything just weird happening while gaming.
Nothing, like I said, in the game, but I have had on several occasions where I'll be sitting there playing a game, and where the recliner is in our living room, you can see into the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And right there in the doorway of the kitchen is like a pantry. And there's been a couple of times where I have seen, like, just out of the corner of my eye, because TV's over here, and then the doorway to the actual kitchen's over here. So while I'm looking at this TV, I've seen what looks like just a black just circle or like oval kind of peering out from behind. And when I look over, you see it go, boop. And I'm like, and we're back. And
Yeah.
go right back to it. That's
Fuck
just
all
generally
that.
how I approach any kind of situation in the middle of the night like that. Just don't pay no mind.
Yeah, don't pay no mind. I feel that. Now, we got, I think, like, usually we call it quits at 2 hours. So I wanna ask y'all, what's y'all's favorite horror movie?
Oh,
Use the
okay.
restroom.
You knew immediately as soon as
Alright,
you
cool.
asked.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about this while you guys were talking about the screaming thing. So my all-time favorite horror movie is an Australian film called Lake Mungo.
I'll have to
Nice.
watch that. I've never. Is it? What's it on? Do you know if you can
It's
stream it
Tubi.
anywhere?
You
Tubi.
can find
Okay.
it on
Tubi.
Tubi.
Lake Mundo.
Mungo.
Mungo. Okay.
Yeah. The best advice I can give you before watching is don't look up anything on it.
Okay.
No trailers. Don't look up anything on it. Just go in blind.
Damn, Skippy.
Because if you try to look up anything on it, there's several major beats throughout the movie that it will spoil, and it's just best if you go in completely blind on it.
Okay. I'll definitely look that up.
But it is a paranormal film. Like the stuff it talks about is about the paranormal, and about a lot of the stuff that we've talked about here tonight. It does kind of go over that as well in the movie, and it's just you forget that it's a movie while you're watching it, and it starts to feel like a documentary.
Is it I forget the word for it, where it's like
a found film.
yeah, found film.
It's like a mockumentary type thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they use actors and stuff that have never acted in any movies prior to that and stuff like that. So it feels very realistic. And it's just, to me, that's still been the scariest movie I've ever seen. I've seen it more than once now, and every time I do, it makes me afraid to go like from the couch to the bedroom in the middle
Yeah.
of the night. Just because of the last couple of shots in it, you're just like, yeah, that's okay with me.
All right, now what's yours?
I don't watch horror movies.
You don't watch horror
Oh,
movies?
no.
What?
I've watched a couple. Like
Ghostbusters? That's your favorite horror movie?
I don't even like. I've seen that one, but I'm too scared to watch horror movies.
Yeah, I
will-
get that.
I will go
So is he
crazy.
the horror movie buff in between?
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy
yeah.
because usually it's the woman that's usually the horror movie buff. I like horror movies. They're not my favorite, but I will watch them. Usually around like October, November, December, around there. Me and my girl will cuddle up and watch some horror movies.
Yeah, he definitely is the one that watches those. I'm too scared. I don't like anything with jump scares.
Yeah.
So
Now,
And there is a lot of them like
yeah,
that.
now before we get off here, we just want to know what's going on with y'all in the future. What do y'all want to accomplish? We just want to hear what y'all want to try to get into the next year, the next years after that. Like what y'all's plan for the future as the Godbey Paranormal Investigators, and where to reach y'all, plug anything that y'all want. We just want to hear what y'all got going on,
okay.
what y'all want to do. Where's this thing gonna go?
So, I mean, we're just kind of hoping to keep doing what we've been doing, keep growing. I've met a lot of great people since we've started doing this. Hoping to do some more investigations, get some more answers. We've got a couple of really cool investigations coming up, like
Awesome.
types of places we've never been before. We've got a library.
Can we get a sneak peek?
We got a library that we're doing,
Creepy.
and I'm in talks to
I hate books.
I'm in talks with a director of a World War II ship.
That's awesome.
Oh, that sounds cool. Is it the one that's like trapped in the swamps of Kentucky?
No, it's in Evansville, Indiana. We're in talks with them right now.
Some good pizza down there.
Yeah, we're hoping to get in there. It is the last operational ship of its time.
Nice.
So this would be really cool. But we're in talks to do that. I've got an investigation at the auction house in Owensboro with another team. Where else are we going? Oh, we're going to a courthouse in March 1st. And then we're going to, it's called the Spirits of Merrim. I had never heard of it before, but we found it on Facebook. And we actually just got in. They quit booking paranormal
Nice.
investigations. But yeah, so those are a couple of things that we've got going on. As far as our social media, we're on Facebook at Godbey Paranormal. We're on TikTok, Godbey Paranormal. I post a lot of random stuff on TikTok, like creepy facts, missing persons, true crime, stuff like that. So
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to get together and go down to Lock 7 like we've been saying.
yes,
He has this place. He's told me about it. But even before me and him were really good friends, he's told me about this. So we're trying to organize this. But
yeah, that sounds like a good time.
Yes, it does.
anything You want to say anything before we head off?
Just that it's been really awesome getting to come out here and do this with you guys. I mean, I've enjoyed the whole thing, and to be honest, I didn't really know what to expect walking in, but I've had a great time.
That's how we always have it.
Y'all know about the story of Lock 7? Why we want to go and investigate there?
I've never even heard of it.
It's down the Kentucky River, close to Wilmore, where he lives, out there in Nicholasville.
It's an old friend of mine had told me an experience he had down there, and of course I'm very skeptical. I don't like to believe people when they tell me certain things, so I definitely didn't believe him when he told me. 'Cause I was like, I'll investigate myself.
Yeah.
But he told me that when he was a young boy, that he lived down in that area, and he would walk down to where Lock 7 is at. And one night when he walked down there, he caught some people doing a ritual. They were doing some type of black magic ritual in the little outbuilding where the groundskeeper used to stay. And I especially didn't believe this part, but he told me that, of course, he ran as far and as fast as he could to get away from them, but come to find out that 2 girls were drowned in the river. He said that those people down there doing the ritual were the ones who sacrificed them in the river. And I was like, very skeptical on believing that for the black magic ritual, sure, but then actually going through and sacrificing 2 people by drowning them in a river, and then that not being like investigated by the police or anything like that seems kind of out there, right? And I went down there a couple of times with him, and we seen some very interesting things, but what I seen when I went down there alone was the most damning evidence of all. I'd walked down to the riverside, and I was standing on the beach. There's a nice little sandy beach next to the riverside, and I'm just sitting there enjoying the night.
You got a rock stuck in your sock.
It was a very calm night, but then this eerie quietness started to fill the area. Not a bird, not a grasshopper, nothing made noise. And as this silence began to fill the area, there was this eerie darkness that just started to ebb like an ocean wave from the river, and I felt it slowly wash over me like I was being dipped in cold black water. I could feel this shiver, and like I felt water on my skin. I could feel this otherworldly presence. And as I'm standing there, I'm looking out over the water, and I see what looks like a branch or pieces of a branch come out of the water. And I'm expecting that the branch would float down the river, but it doesn't. The branch stays in place. So I'm thinking, well, maybe the branch is like stuck deep in the mud, and the current's just keeping it up. But as I'm circulating these thoughts very quickly, the branch turns into 2 branches, and then 3 and 4. And I'm like, well, this is weird. That's when I notice they're not branches. They're fingers wrapped in moss and mud and black and dirt. And then the hands become wrists, and then elbows and arms, and I see 4 arms lifting out of the water. It's when I see the top of their head and the black and green matted hair, the beginnings of the forehead, right before their face and their eyes come out of the water. I turned around and began walking away. It's when I heard the unmistakable sound of wet footsteps sloshing out of the water behind me and quickly walking up to me. I could hear him getting closer. So I started to walk quite a bit faster, pretty much speed walking at this point, but I refused to break out into a run because that would give them the edge. That would give them the fear that they want over me. Of course, I was
Shaking in your boots.
I was very disturbed by what was the sounds and the sights that I had just seen, and I could still hear them
Yeah.
walking behind me. But they didn't laugh or speak. Just a dead, quiet silence, and the wetness of footsteps followed me back to my car. And I was struggling with my keys, my hands shaking as I tried to get the key to go into the lock. And I missed the lock in the darkness. And the footsteps walked right up behind me. And I wasn't going to turn around, but
Yeah.
the footsteps stopped directly behind me. And I was just sitting there shaking. Got the key in the lock, opened the door, sat down, closed the door, hit the lock, put the keys in, tried to switch the ignition on, and I had an old piece of shit Nissan. It never started on the first start.
Yeah.
So, nothing. But the lights from the headlights came on and illuminated the area. And I was like, yes, light, right? And when the lights faded back into the darkness, that's when I see their faces right up against my window. And one of them puts their hand right next to my face, like right up against the window, unmistakable, a hand and two faces. And in my peripheral was the most evil smile I've ever seen. Just this unmistakable grin, like they knew that I knew. Whatever it was there. There was two girls. I finally got my car to turn on, and when the light came on, they faded into the darkness, and I drove away. That's the moment that I finally believed my friend about the two girls being sacrificed in the water.
Yeah. We're definitely going to have to investigate
we gotta
that.
go down there. Gotta go down there. But we're at that 2-hour mark. Y'all, I want y'all to plug whatever y'all want to plug, and then we'll give our send-offs.
Okay. Like I said a little bit ago, we're on Facebook. You can find us at Godbey Paranormal. And we're on TikTok. Same name, Godbey Paranormal.
Nice. Guys,
You want to say anything?
I don't really have any social medias. The only thing I have
I'm
is
in
just
charge.
the only thing I do is I just kind of read it occasionally. But
yeah. She's the boss of the operation.
Yep.
Johnny, you want to say your...
This is Superfly Johnny Lee, and this has been another excellent episode of A Sip with the Supernatural.
You know what you need to be on these episodes?
What's that?
Instead of Superfly Johnny Lee, Supernatural Johnny Lee.
That's right. You're right. I need to be Supernatural John Lee for these episodes. Leon Lexington, you got anything to say?
I just want to say it's definitely been a fun time. We haven't been in here in forever as the Sip with the Supernatural. It's my excuse to day drink and talk ghosts. It's my favorite thing to do. I want to do it more, especially with you two boys up in here. We lost
That's right.
Shout out B Money. We lost B Money. He's in Nashville, fucking going through ice storms and seeing
And got
what-
his woman too.
Yeah.
Chose to be there with her.
So, shout out.
Hopefully we can get a nice investigation set
Yeah, we-
up soon.
Yes.
Before
Some of more content.
I'm putting this out there right now. Before August 6th, we will have an investigation on this podcast as the Sip with the Supernatural.
Yes, we will.
So I just want to say we're going to definitely do this podcast more. We're going to try to get more guests in, more people in. We need to hit up Joff from the New Orleans,
Yep.
the ghost tour that I took.
Catch up with him again.
Yeah, it's definitely been a good time with you guys. I appreciate y'all coming down from,
Thanks for having
where'd y'all
us.
come down from?
We came from Bonneville, Kentucky.
Nice.
Thank y'all for coming down here to chat with stupid little old us.
Hey, it's been a good time.
It's definitely been a good time. Shout out Leon Lexington. I'm out. Kenny, say your words.
It's Kenny the Black Cat. I'm out.
Guys, it's been Supernatural, and this is how we do it. Even I am fun.
You ain't getting none.
You damn Skippy. They go out there and try to catch some ghosts.